Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, so today I'm going to talk you through my purchases from JOOM over the last few years. It sort of shows you the different prices and different items that you can actually get from there. Now, JOOM is very similar to Wish. The only difference that I've noticed between them is the way that they price up the items. With Wish, you get pulled in with a really good bargain price on an item. Then when it comes to checking out, they sting you and add a bit more than really they should on some items for postage. So that's where I'm not overly keen on Wish. Now, JOOM cover the same items. But the difference they do there is it's all in one price. You don't get extra put on the bill at the end for your shipping. So what I like to do is I like to play them off against each other. So there'll be an item that I really want and I'll find it on Wish, and I will search and search until I can find the cheapest, because of course you lot know I squeak when I walk and I'm really tight-fisted. So I find it on Wish and then I go on to JOOM and then I do the same search, and depending on which one has got the cheapest overall price is the one that I'll use the most. Well, it happens that it's JOOM for me that's normally the cheapest. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the first load of items that I'm going to talk you through. Okay, so the hooks in the purple case, those ones are labelled up at 22 pieces of mixed needle weave yarn set aluminium handle crochet hooks knitting knit. Oh my god, what a long name. Well, anyway, those ones cost me £6.50 for the first time I purchased them. Now if I want to purchase them again, they've gone up to 13 quid. Now this is the thing I've noticed with both JOOM and Wish, is you buy something at one price and then the next time you come in, even if you're using the same supplier and link, the price of the item goes up. So it's always best to have another search for exactly the same thing and try and find a different supplier. That's my little tip there. Now these ones came in a nice soft leather pouch. You've got your two different types of hooks. You've got really thin ones here, there we go, which I believe are more for like your lace work and your really thin threads, because they are in minute sizes. It's 0.6mm I believe up to 1.9, but they may be out of order, so I didn't check. Then right, so the larger hooks in the set go from a 6.5mm down to a 2mm, and then the little silver ones, they go from a 1.9 down to a 0.6mm. So the whole set has 22 hooks in it. Right, so this description is that they're 100% brand new and high quality. Well, they've not fallen apart on me yet. There's 22 pieces, 2 rows packed in a leather bag. Every piece is marked with its own size. Now they are marked beautifully. They've been used time and time again, and I've not managed to wear the mark off because it's sort of embedded into it. Is that the right phrase? No, not embedded, embossed, so it sticks out. Okay, they're pretty good. The set of colours are all different, so, well, nearly all different. You've got two that are, one's like a gold and one's a yellow, so that can be a little bit confusing, but you just got to keep an eye out and make sure you're using the right one for the right project. I know it's confusing because I've swapped midway before now and wondered why the project looked so wonky when I'd finished. Right, the next set of hooks I purchased were the metal ones on the bottom left of the picture. Now they cost me £5.50, but the reason I bought those was because I needed larger hooks than what I already had, and I managed to find this set which went from 2mm up to a 10mm. These are also multicolored, but their colours don't match the first set. So say I pick up a 3 of set 1, it's going to be a different colour to set 2, which gets a little bit confusing. Now they are called 14 size multicoloured aluminium crochet hooks needle set, 2mm to 10mm. They are basically the same as the other hooks, you just don't get them in the case, they come in loose. So they just arrived in a long plastic bag. Right, so the next set of hooks I picked up, because by this point I was finding holding the metal hooks a bit awkward, because I was getting a lot of cramp in my hand because I was doing more than about 4 hours straight crocheting. And I didn't know that there were such things as hand exercises at that point. So I'd been watching a couple of YouTube channels, and the girls were saying about plastic hooks and grips and this and that and the other, and so I thought, right, I'm going back on again, I'm gonna have a look, I'm gonna see if I can find some of these plastic hooks that they were talking about. So I picked up these ones. Okay, there we go. Now don't get me wrong, they're okay, but they're rock solid. So the only thing they're good for is giving you a little bit more grip when you're using the hook. And a drawback to them was that the print comes off very, very easily, and I've even used a Sharpie on one of them and it still came off. Now these ones only cost me £2.70, so I wasn't overly worried. If I went to purchase them again though, they'd want £4 off me, so they can forget it. Right, so those plastic hooks came in the sizes 2.5mm up to the 5mm. Approximate length is 14 centimetres, and you've got the 6 different sizes in the set. So for a step up from what I'd used, they were not bad really, and for the price you can't really complain at a couple of quid. Right, now on to my last set out of that picture. These are the ergonomic crochet hook set knitting needles sewing accessories. Now I got these for £6, and price if I want to purchase them again at the moment is looking at about £7. Now these came in a brilliant set. Okay, I'm missing some because they're tied up with projects, and of course you've seen my old faithful, my blue. Now they are beautiful, they sit lovely in my hand, and I find them really comfortable, which is why I haven't carried on searching for any other hooks yet, but I probably will end up doing it at some point. Now this is what they look like up close. Oh, wrong way around. There we go. So I find them, as I said, I find them really comfy and they grip lovely. Now again with this, because it was a printed on number, size number, they rub off, and the Sharpies don't stick to these ones either. So if you do get this kit, this set, do yourself a favour and write the sizes on a sticky note and shove it on your packet and keep hold of your packet, because it's an ideal little storage holder as well. Okay, it's not as nice as the leather, but at least you're not going to get confused with the sizes of them. Right, so let's start at the top left this time. I'd started making key rings, and just because I wanted to test out how small I could go in amigurumi before it started really getting too awkward for me. So I ordered a pack of 20 key rings, and then I found I got quite addicted to it, so the picture's actually for 50. I'll tell you about the 20 and then I'll tell you how much I paid for the 50 in a second. Right, so on those they were £3 for a pack of 20. The labelling is 20-piece keyring blanks keychain tone finding split ring. Now what I did notice was the split ring's perfectly fine, but the chain can sometimes be a bit loose where the link's not quite been joined up. So I normally sit with, like, open the packet, go through them, sit there with a little pair of mini pliers and put them back together just to ensure that they're all fixed. But I noticed that on every set of keychain, those little keychain things that I've purchased. Right, so I then really did give myself a right kick up the bottom, because I found the 50 piece for £2.61, saving me money and nearly trebling my order of keychains. So of course I jumped on there and bought quite a few. I think I got 200. Shh, don't tell the husband, I've got to work out how to use them all yet. Right, so both the 20 and the 50 set have identical descriptions. The materials are metal, colours silver, and the ring diameter is 2.5 centimetres or 0.97. The chain length is 5.5 centimetres, and that's pretty much all the description you get. Right, next one up is those curly stitch markers. Now I got a pack of 20 for £1. Some of them, within the way that they've been made, have got little nodules on them, so you either have to cut them off or sand them down or something, so they can be a bit annoying because they can catch the yarn. If you're working really slowly with a yarn that's not going to split, they'll be fine, but I would suggest using a different type of stitch marker because those were so annoying. Right, the next item up is the bottom left, and that is the Tunisian crochet hooks. Now I've got one here for you to show you just briefly. This is an 8.0mm. There we go. So that's what the head looks like. They've got a reasonable length cord on them, and then a sort of button bun at the end. Now I have had a go on these, but I will be honest, I've only had a go once because Tunisian is a completely new thing for me, so it would be a case of actually sitting there and properly getting involved in it, and when I do stuff like that I end up running with the same thing for a while. So at the moment I want to carry on with the simple crochet, and I'll possibly have a go with this in a couple of months, say if we've got a road trip or something and I'm just sitting in the car and not making poppies for a change. Right, so the item name for this is a 12-piece professional different sized bleached bamboo carpet crochet hook needles, and in brackets it says 3.0mm to 10.0mm. Right, so it's a set of 12 professional carpet crocheted hooks in different sizes, which are made of durable bleached bamboo and plastic material. Length is approximately 48 inches, and that includes the tube. And your sizes are 3mm up to 10mm. The size is permanently marked on the crochet hook. Where? Oh, there. Right, it's looking like it might have been burnt into the wood, but of course I haven't used these enough at all yet to be able to say whether the print will or will not come off, but I'll have to update you in probably about a year. Now the last one are the stainless steel retro style scissors Tailor Shears cross stitch shear. Now they were about that big. I'll give you the full details in a minute. I can't actually show them to you because I think I've lost them down the side of the sofa, or at least I'm hoping they're there because it's the only place I haven't checked yet, and they've been lost along with another pair, so I've got some more on order from JOOM. Right, so I had ordered the silver ones. Now they were actually really nice in my hand. I could swing them around and move them out the way while I was still crocheting. I'd sort of mastered a really weird way of using them and working with them. but it worked for me. They were weighted really well and they were beautifully sharp. Now, according to the details in front of me, they weighed 18.2 grams and they were silver. Now, as I said, those cost me £2. For me, I popped to Hobbycraft to get a pair of scissors while I was out one day, because I thought, oh, I'll have another pair for my poppy bag, because I've got a bag in the car that would just carry the wool for the poppies, so I could sit and make those while I was waiting for the kid. And they wanted £3.50 for a pair of scissors, and these things weren't exactly sharp. They were squeaky, they were awful. So hence why I like them ones. They're cheap and they work well, they don't squeak. So that's why I got another set on the way. Right, so onto my wool winder. I paid £10.80 for it. The name is the Woolen Yarn Fibre String Ball Wool Winder. Holder handled, hand operated wire rope pulley machine. Yeah, I managed it all. Right, as I said, I paid £10.80. Right, so I'm actually going to do a separate video about the wool winder and about the Centro that I'm just about to tell you about. Right, so the next item up is the DIY knitting machine, kids knitting machine, toy cylinder, knitting yarn, toy style 2. Right, okay, so as I said, I'm going to be doing a more in-depth video in regards to this item, so I'm not going to really tell you anything much apart from it cost me £29.70. But I did see the identical one on JOOM and on Wish for over £100. So it is, as I said, definitely worth trawling through them all and seeing if you can find it cheaper. Right, so next up we have got the Unique Design 50-piece Pearl Effect sewing buttons, round domed clothes dress, 9mm solid white. Now those are really pretty. If you saw my previous video, which was the box that went out for one of my winners, I showed you a close-up of those buttons. Now I was quite lucky that, well, I paid £3.25 for them, but at the moment it's stating if I want to buy them again I can get them for £3. Do I go back and bulk buy, because quite a few of you did like them. Right, so the next item up is that box of buttons. Now I paid £5.40 for these because there wasn't a great deal on the description of them, which was a bit of an issue, so I took a punt. I thought £5.40 for a box of buttons, that many buttons, has got to be worth it surely. And I needed some reasonable sized buttons because I was actually looking for the buttons for the jumper that I'd made that ended up having the pearl ones on. And so I put the order in and I waited and I waited and I waited, and I was thinking they were going to be decent chunky sized buttons. This is where if it doesn't have a description on either JOOM or Wish, don't buy it. Right, my button box came in. It's massive, ain't it? That's how big the buttons are. Not a happy bunny. Not at all, because I haven't got the Scoobies what I'm going to be able to use those for. Even on an amigurumi, they're not really going to show up, are they? It would have to be quite a small one for them to actually be of benefit. So if you've got any ideas what you would use them for, stick them in the comments below. You never know, at a later date, if you ever win a competition that I put up, you might end up with the box of buttons. Right, so of course, you know I do the amigurumi, so I needed eyes. So I ordered the first set of eyes, which is the picture with the bunny rabbits. Now I got those for 90p, so I was pretty chuffed with that. Right, so they are called the teddy bear slash doll slash toy animals slash felting black plastic safety eyes 20 pieces. And now you can get them in a size 6mm up to 14. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, so I grabbed some. But it wasn't until later that I realised that I didn't know what the sizing really meant. I sort of gave it a guess and picked up ones I thought would work. So those ones work for keyring amigurumi because I picked up a smaller size. Right, so the next one were the coloured eyes. Now the name for those is an 80-piece 8-colour plastic safety eye washers for teddy bear doll animal. Now I paid £3.70 for those, which I thought was a pretty good price, and I got the 10mm ones. Now I'd been reading that some people had issues when it came to the safety backs actually staying on some of these. Not this specific make, but others. So I've got a little trick that I will be putting into a tips and tricks video at a later point that I think works really well. Okay, so now on to the last video, last 4 names. Right, so first one up is the handmade tag craft price tags clothing hanging DIY gift Christmas wedding decor materials round paper. Right, and the description for these is a nice and sturdy, be used for name tags on gift bags, great as wedding favour tags, gift tags or other place name cards. They're made with a craft paper size 4.3 centimetres, and it was a pack of 100. Next one up is the 100-piece natural colour wooden buttons, handmade letter love scrapbooking decoration. Now I paid £3 for these, and I ordered the 15mm. You can get them also in a 20mm and a 25, but the price goes up with each size. The description is quite simple. It's a button with 2 holes. The style is with love. The diameter for the is 15mm, 20mm or 25, but that's optional. And you've got 100 in a bag. And the next one up is the 50-piece butterfly cherry leather label tags DIY clothing garment sewing craft. Now you've got a choice of 7 different images on the tags, which were in the original photo. It will be going up again in a second, just so you can see it again. Now I paid £4 for those. The description is it's a 50-piece set. It's in brown, and the material is PU leather. Now the single length is 5 centimetre width by a 1.3 centimetre thickness and 1.29 to 1.44 millimetres in depth. Now I absolutely love sewing these onto shawls and other chunkier items. They hold their own really well. Right, so the last item is the 1 centimetre 22 metre handmade baking sewing labels gift package ribbon. Right, so I paid £2.70 for this. It is a polyester material. Colour is pink or beige depending on which option you choose. The size is only approximate, and they're saying it's 22 metre by 1 centimetre, and you only get the 1 roll, you don't get 2, you just get the 1. Now I normally use this to wrap up larger items, or use it as the decoration for the wrapping rather than actually putting it into an item or attaching it to an item. Right, so we're now at the end of this video. If you liked it, pop a message down below so I know to make some more with some of the other stuff that I've got from JOOM. Been a bit addictive with that shop, to be honest. Right, so I'm going to head out now, so if you can all stay in, please do, and stay safe, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ra for now. Right, apologies for the length of the video, but them names are so flipping long. How simple is it to put pearl button, size blah blah blah, or wall winder? Why do they have to have such ridiculously long names? And can be blah blah blah, all that dribble, the extra bit, we don't want to know about that. And the last item is the 1 centimetre, 22 m, I think that's metre, handmade baking sewing labels gift package ribbon. Where the heck they put baking in, I don't know why. In other words, round frickin' whatever McCall it's.